first question is object oriented programming language. So, Java is a high level third generation programming language like C, Fortran, Perl, Smalltalk, and many others. You can use Java to write computer applications that play games, store data, or do any of the thousands of other things computer software can do. If we compare to other languages, Java is more similar to C. Java is not actually C, but Java shares much of C's syntax. Thus, C and C++ will certainly help you to learn the Java more quickly, but you don't need to learn C to learn Java. What's the most special about Java in relation to other programming languages are Java lets you to write special programs like Applet. You can download Applet from the internet and play it safely within a web browser. Java language is called an object-oriented programming language. And before beginning of Java, we have to learn the concept of OOPS or object-oriented languages program. Basic concept of OOPS or object-oriented programming languages are objects, classes, data abstraction, dynamic binding, polymorphism, inheritance, data encapsulation, and data abstraction. So first is object. Objects are most important runtime entity in object-oriented method. They may characterize a location, a bank account, and a table of data or an entity that the program must handle. Objects are variable of type class. Example, we have an object of student as shown in the diagram below. So this is the object of the student in which data are name, address, and marks, and the methods are total and average. So this is the representation of object. Each object holds data and code to operate the data. Objects can interact without having to identify the details of each other's data or code. Objects is sufficient to identify the type of message received and the type of reply returned by the objects. Classes. We say that classes are the blueprint of objects. In simple, a class is a set of objects with similar properties or attributes. The complete set of data and code of an object can be made a user-defined data type with the help of class. In simple words, we say that a class is a collection of objects of similar type. Classes are the user-defined data types and work like the built-in type of the programming language. Once the class has been defined, we can make any number of objects belonging to that class, like as vehicle. Vehicle has the property of car, buses, trucks, and so on. In it, we can say car is the object of the vehicle, and the other object of the car is this number plate. We have the cost of this number plate is object A, and the color of the car is object B. So car has three objects. One is number plate, second is cost, and third is color. By the way, color and cost are the objects of the number plate. In the above example, we will create an object this belonging to the class car. So in it, class is a car is a class, and this is the object of the car. Data abstraction. The third is the data abstraction. In simple words, we say that to abstract the data from any program is called data abstraction, or we also say that to hiding the unnecessary information from the user and only shown the necessary things or the necessary information to the user is called data abstraction. So data abstraction refers to the act of representing important description without including the background detail or the explanation. So in simple word, we can say that the data abstraction means the to hide the unnecessary data from the user and show only the necessary or the relevant data to the users. Classes are also use the concept of abstraction and are defined as a list of abstract attributes such as size, cost. Functions operate on these attributes. Classes use the concept of data abstraction and it is called ADT. You can mostly hear the name ADT, which means abstract data types. So it is a feature of OOPS, data encapsulations. Um, in simple, we say that we have a we have to wrap when we have to wrap the functions and the data in a single cell or in a class is called data encapsulation. So data encapsulation means wrapping of data and function into a single unit. Single unit is called a class. It is most useful feature of class or OOPS. These functions provides the boundary between the object data and the program. Encapsulation is the technique of making the fields in the class private and providing access to the fields via public method, private and public. If a field is declared private, it cannot be accessed by anyone outside to the class. So only the internal of the member can be accessed or declare the class, thereby hiding the field within the class. For this reason, encapsulation is also referred as the data hiding. That's why we can say data encapsulation is data hiding, because not outsider can allow to declare or to access anyone's class which is private. We can also say that the encapsulation is like as a capsule or a medicine which wraps the data and function into a single cell called a class, as shown in the diagram below, like that. This is a wrapping of the data and function. This is just looking like as a cell capsule. So capsule have this is a capsule and we have many medicines with two parts. This is some other medicine and this is some other medicine. So it is a capsule. It is just similar as a capsule which has data and the function which are wrapping in a single cell. Single cell is called a class. So this all is called the encapsulation. Benefits. The benefits of encapsulation is the ability to modify our implemented code without breaking the code of others who use our code. So with this feature, encapsulation gives the maintainability, flexibility and extensibility to our code. Now our next is inheritance. Inheritance is the most important feature of OOPS. Inheritance means to inherit the properties or the attributes of any other class. So inheritance is the process by which objects of one class can get the properties of objects of another class. Inheritance means one class of object inherits the data and behavior from another class. Inheritance maintains the hierarchical classification in which a class inherits from the parents. Example, in the diagram we can say that this is our class A, this is our class B, this is our class C. So A can share all the properties and attributes to class B and B can share all the properties and attributes with class C. So class C can inherit all the properties of class B and class B can inherit all the properties and attributes from class A. So in simple words we say that class C can inherit all the properties or all the attributes of class B and class A both. Example, we take an example of vehicle having car which have company name Hyundai with other cars of this company are as shown in the diagram below. So this is our diagram. In it, vehicle is our parent or superclass, car is our subclass or a child class, Hyundai is the property or the attribute of the class, and Santro and Ascent are both are the properties of Hyundai. Hyundai is the attribute of car. In above example, vehicle is the parent class. This is the vehicle and is our parent class, whose properties are inherited by the child or the sub-child class, which is car. So this is the sub-child class or subclass, or the child class is car. Car can inherit all the properties of vehicle. Inheritance provides the important feature of OOPS, that is reusability. So inheritance provides the OOPS to reusable the code. It provides reusability to the program. Polymorphism. Polymorphism, in simple word we say that polymorphism is made up of two words. One is poly and the other is morphism. Poly means many and the morphism means forms. So polymorphism means the ability to take more than one form. Polymorphism plays a main role in allocate objects having different internal structures to share the same external interface. As we also say that polymorphism is made up of two words are poly and morph. So poly means many and morph means forms, which means many forms or multiple forms, which is the so polymorphism is the ability to take more than one form. Polymorphism means that the same operation may behave differently on different classes. It means for different classes same operation behave differently. One operation can behave differently for different classes. One is Booch. As Booch is an application or a polymorphism feature, it provides the polymorphism. It is similar as polymorphism, or in simple, Booch defines polymorphism as the relationship of objects many different classes by some common superclass. Example, in a payroll system, manager, office staff and the production worker objects all will respond to the computer payroll message, but the real operation performed are object particular as. We have shape has draw, which we can draw rectangle, square, circle as object. So rectangle object we can draw rectangle, square object we can draw square, circle object we can draw circle. So this is the representation of polymorphism. Polymorphism which has many forms, different forms. One operation behave differently on different classes. Dynamic binding. Binding refers to the linking of procedure call to the code. This is the call of phone call. Call to the code to be executed in response to the call. In simple, dynamic binding means that the code related with a given procedure call is not known until the time of the call at runtime. Runtime call. Dynamic binding is associated polymorphism and inheritance. Dynamic binding is associated with polymorphism and inheritance. So this is our all object oriented programming topic and the basic concepts of object oriented programming. So I hope you all will understand it. Thanks.